and giving you a few tools that'll help you along. So whenever you're ready, you can go ahead and just focus in on the fire or simply close your eyes. And again, with the breathing, at this point, it's just whatever feels natural. But if you can, allow your mind to focus in and start to find your breath. Find where you feel it the strongest. Maybe that's in your diaphragm, or maybe that's under your nose where the air is coming in and leaving your body. Wherever that is for you, just allow the energy within and your mind to focus there. As you're tapping into it though, we're gonna go ahead and take a nice deep breath. Then we're gonna hold it for a second and then we'll exhale and release it. So we're gonna go through a little series of box breathing. So go ahead and inhale for the count of 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold 2, 3, 4. Exhale 2, 3, 4. Inhale 2, 3, 4. Hold 2, 3, 4. And exhale 2, 3, 4. And then you can go ahead and just let your breathing fall back to its natural rhythm while it holds your attention. And if you're starting to feel thoughts come into your mind, that's okay. You can just simply acknowledge them with a thank you, but no thank you, and let them drift away. And just bring yourself gently back to the fire and back to the moment. And as you're settling in to this moment, I'd like you to go ahead and bring your attention toward the top of your head. Just explore how you feel within that area. Maybe there's some stress, some thoughts. Just allow that all to kind of come together. Imagine that there's a ball that's sitting in the top of your head, pulling all those feelings to the center. And then allow that ball to drift a little lower down toward your jawline and into your neck. Bringing those feelings from your head down with it and collecting whatever sits in that area around your neck and your jaw. Allow that ball to drift a little bit lower toward your shoulder line. And we'll spend a few extra minutes here allowing that ball to collect all the stress and tension, because this is where we hold a lot of that stuff. Just allow that ball to gently drift down towards your heart as it continues to collect all that excess stress and tension. And from here, you can allow that ball to continue to slowly drift lower and lower through your body at your very own pace. And if you move around or it feels a little uncomfortable, just remind yourself that it's okay, that you're safe. There's no need to judge. You can just simply let that feeling and sensation drift into that ball as it moves through your body. And as that ball gets closer and closer to the ground, you can feel the earth beneath your feet supporting you, holding you, offering you that constant level of support to help you no matter how you're feeling. And you can return to that anytime that you're struggling with a sense of disconnection or distraction. As your feet are on the floor, you begin to feel roots from your feet connecting you to the ground, strengthening that support system while allowing that ball to drift through your feet and into the ground, taking away all your stress, all your tension that's been built up. And if you're able, as a ball sits on the floor, I'd like you to pick it up and throw it into the sky and watch all of that pent up stress, emotion, whatever it is that you are carrying, explode into energy around you. Creating a giant bright light that almost feels as if it's blinding. And as it fades, you find yourself sitting in the woods with a beautiful, gigantic, powerful waterfall at your back. Go ahead and turn around and just observe the water as it flows over the fall. As you're observing, just become a sponge. and allow that sense of tranquility to soak into you. To peak that power of observation and that sense of adventure that both live within your heart. As that sponge overflows, you're going to feel those two things strengthen and cause you to notice the trail that's beneath your feet. Go ahead and slowly journey down that trail, allowing each footstep to help you continue to relax deeper and deeper. And a few hundred yards down that trail, you come to a set of stairs that are going to lead you up to a mound that has a beautiful vista and beautiful scenic surrounding. At your own pace, you can go ahead and start climbing those stairs. Each step is going to bring you more and more into the moment and allow you the comfort and the clarity to sit in this present moment. The higher that you're climbing up that staircase, the more at ease your heart's beginning to allow you to feel, the more present you are, the slower and slower that your thoughts are feeling, the more relaxed and at ease it becomes to sit here in this present moment. And as you reach the top of that staircase, at the top of the mound, you may find that your heart has a sense of childlike curiosity and just desires to observe everything that's going around you and below you. Just take a few minutes and imagine what that looks like on the ground beneath you. What's going on? Is the wind blowing and swaying the branches of the trees? Maybe it's an open clearing and you can see a few animals as they scurry around. Maybe it's even giving you a better vantage point to enjoy that waterfall. But whatever it is, just simply observe. Observe nature and all of its beauty and in its natural course of action. Allow your heart to take that in and begin to tell a little bit of a story to yourself about what it is that you see. I'd like you to just spend a little bit of time engaging in that story. Whatever story it is that your heart is telling you based on whatever you see. If it's the waterfall, like you swim along the flow of the water, just follow the river along. If you see animals, picture yourself as one. Think about how they behave, what it is that they're doing. If you simply see trees or maybe just the grass, just be with it. Allow yourself to feel being that tree, swaying in the breeze, or that grass reaching up into the air. Whatever that story looks like, whatever it contains, these are your power signs, and they'll always be with you. They're always there for you to return to whenever you need clarity or you need the grounding to bring yourself back into the moment. But regardless of what that picture and what that story looks like, there's one common thread. That common thread is that every element that's within that picture is trying to grow. And this is the best point that we can connect with our power symbols, is to look for the inspiration to help us grow. Even in the midst of stress, disconnection, and any other ailment that we face during the day, by watching, putting yourself within the motions of those power signs, we understand that all the other things that we tell ourselves are simply a story. And we still have control over that story. We can apply it in whatever way we choose. And every element within your story chooses to apply it to grow and to live and thrive. And we have the strength to do the same. You can just allow yourself to take a few more deep breaths and just sit within that power of observation, that power of storytelling that you have, and allow everything around you to narrate that ability of growth, that desire to thrive, even in the most challenging moments. As these impressions are made within your heart for you to carry along with you, go ahead and allow yourself to draw your focus back up to the top of that mound and to come back to yourself even stronger, sit, stood within this moment. Just affirmate to yourself silently that you're here, you're present, and that you're safe. Before we begin our descent down this mound, I'd like to take the opportunity to walk you through one of the simplest and most beautiful tools and reminders that Mother Nature offers us. By trying to channel all of those racing thoughts that run through your mind and projecting them up into the sky, allowing them to attach to the clouds that are above you. One thought per cloud is the way that they form. And as you watch the clouds above you, you notice how the jet stream pushes them along. Your thoughts work the same way now that they're up there in the sky, except the only difference is that your decision is the jet stream. You are the force that pushes the clouds around. So go ahead and take that first cloud and pull it forward to the center of your mind and just explore it. Just allow that curiosity, that power of observation to look deep into it so you can discover what it's requiring of you or what it's teaching you. But the most important part is to not judge that thought, just neutrally observe it. And if it's uncomfortable or it's uneasy, you can simply remind yourself that you're safe. There's safety within being here, being present. And whenever that thought is done speaking to you, you can just push it off, let it go, fade away, and then bring the next thought forth and repeat the process. And you can practice this as much as you desire right now. But most importantly, you can take this tool with you to utilize anytime in any place that you need to. And each time that you lean into this practice, though, I'd like you to remind yourself that it may always be different. Maybe a different motivating factor that brought you here, or you may simply feel different within your heart when you get into this moment or into this space. And that's perfectly okay because as we change, we let things go. We discard the things that no longer serve us in order to allow growth and new experiences. This experience that I'm sharing with you and this meditation is actually an experience that I had meditating on a mound over the weekend, where that mound reminded me about how far I've come between that day and the first time that I sat on that mound. And further reminded me that it's okay to let go of all the different layers of skin that have been shed between. Because where you are and how you feel is where you're meant to be at the moment so you can learn, so you can continue to grow. And you can discover the layers that need discarding in order to let that new growth fully come in. So let's go ahead and take a few moments to just silently relinquish whatever layers are ready to come off, whatever things that we struggle with that we don't need to hold on to any longer, whatever doesn't serve you, and stay here on top of this mountain. And as we begin our descent back down the stairs, so we can follow the trail from which we came, go ahead and just allow yourself a little bit of grace to understand that that may have been difficult, but you did a wonderful job. And just follow those stairs down, relaxing a little bit more, allowing yourself to take a few deep breaths of accomplishment and achievement. And then at your own pace, go ahead and follow that trail back to the place from which you came. Back there at the trailhead, you can take your time to sit here in that stillness and that comfort for as long as you need. But whenever you're ready, you can go ahead and open your eyes.
That was beautiful.
That is the beautiful reaction. That's the reaction we go for. So I'm curious though, what did you see when you were sitting on top of the mound?
Like, like kind of like fog, like smog, kind of at the beneath me, which is like different waterfalls and fairies. Like I was a fairy, just like flying with, and then deer were playing, um, over there. But at the mountain, like I just felt free. Like there were no chains holding me down, nothing. Like I just like left this world into like another where you're just, you know, kind of like an out of body. Yeah. Kind of thing. I don't know how to explain it, but that's.
No, it's beautiful. I mean, it's fun, it's unique because actually 9 times out of 10 when I meditate or anything like that, there's always deer that come in and out of meditations and dreams. They're beautiful spirit animals. They represent compassion. And they also represent a lot of overcoming and achieving things. Like moving, like you mentioned, not having chains. You really can find representation within a deer for overcoming limiting beliefs. You know, like I mentioned earlier about anxiety. It was actually sitting in a deer blind on November 15th, a few years back, which is the height of their rut when they're breeding, that I really found an understanding to overcome anxiety because this younger buck come through that I never saw before. And I always like to have some kind of connection and story with the deer that I take. So I gave him a pass and I'm standing there in that tree and I'm going, man, I call myself a hunter, but what am I doing? Not shooting him. And then I thought about that anxiety that I've been struggling with. And I projected it onto him. And the fact that in the grand scheme of things, a deer is on the dinner menu for everything. So he should be scared. He should be hiding and afraid to move. But the biggest day of the year for him is November 15th. So he's out making mistakes and being seen because in the back of his mind, he knows that he has the skills and he has the abilities to try to at least overcome whatever he perceives as danger. And for me, and for most people, a panic attack feels like life and death, but it's not. In his world, it is. So when I thought about it like that, I was like, if he can get out there and he can do his job in the midst of the reality of life and death, I can work my way through a panic attack. I can remind myself that I have the skills, that I have the abilities to still, proceed through and ultimately not make a fool of myself.
Mm.
And it's a powerful story that I love to share because it's relatable. which is the way that I feel meditation and really anything that you're gonna help somebody on a journey with needs to not only be relatable, but it needs to be authentic. It's gotta be a part of something that you two can talk through and really understand. Utilize the story to help them build their own story and overcome it. That's how this passion project got started. Any questions or anything?
No.
I think she's still just relaxed.
I am, I'm just kind of like.
Just that piece and just enjoying. That's important. And the cool thing about when you practice these things and you put yourself in those environments is you strengthen that childlike curiosity, that imagination. And it's a healthy, almost escape at times. You know, to help you catch your breath, slow your thoughts down, and then draw yourself back in. Because it removes a lot of that fear. It reminds you that you always have the power within the moment or within the situation. So it's very